Hi, welcome to the Alive at Work video blog. This is actually our first video blog, so I'm pretty excited to share the information with you. Today, we're going to talk about defining leadership. And the title of the video blog is called Defining Leadership. I'm an excellent driver. Defining leadership is about as easy as trying to describe the experience of tasting chocolate to someone who has never experienced sweets. Why? Because everyone has a vastly different opinion about how to define leadership. I once heard a so-called expert on everything define driving in traffic and not getting mad at another driver as leadership. Really? It reminds me of Dustin Hoffman in the movie Rain Man. Hoffman plays the role of an autistic savant who walks around saying, "I'm an excellent driver, excellent driver." I'm sure we could find a few folks walking the hallways of corporate America saying the same thing. I'm an excellent leader, excellent leader. Well, first, let's talk about defining a leader. To define leadership, we must first define the term leader, correct? A leader is simply a person who influences others to do or to be their best. Now, according to that definition, everyone can be a leader, but not everyone is a leader. I've met maintenance engineers who act more like a leader than some C-suite professionals I've worked with over the years. Positions and titles don't make you a leader. Your ability to influence others to be their best selves, their best version of themselves, does. Influencing others to do or be their best requires a fundamental shift in how a person leads. They must learn to lead from a place of power and not from a place of force. There are actually 9 power versus force principles. Once you understand them, you will better be able to determine just where on the continuum you stand. Today, we're going to talk about principle number 1. The first principle is about how a leader chooses to lead. It starts by determining whether they lead from a place of authority and influence, which is about power, or a desire to control, which is about force. Now, the word authority gets a pretty bad rap these days because, like many things, we misinterpret the meaning of the word. Sometimes you have to look at the origin of the word to accurately define its true meaning. Authority comes from the word author, derived from the Latin word auctor. Now, auctor, which means enlarger, founder, leader, or one who causes to grow. This is in direct conflict with how the media and society speak about authority. Today, authority is seen as an extremely negative perspective or thing. Well, now that we've defined leader, let's define influence. If we were to define the word influence, we would find 1. The power to affect someone or something. 2. The power to cause change without directly forcing them to happen. And 3. Affecting someone or something in an important way. What's interesting is that in the 13th century, Latin scholars defined influence as imperceptible or indirect action exerted to cause changes. Influence happens indirectly and almost imperceptibly and without force or the desire or the need to control. But if we look at the word control in the context of leadership, the origin of the word control stems from the Latin word contra, which means against, opposite, as in on the contrary. Leaders who push against or are against their people feel the need to control or micromanage. This desire to control has a devastating impact on both morale and productivity. In order to get clear about where you are, you have to be brutally honest. As a leader, you have to ask yourself, do I lead from a place of influence and authority, or do I attempt to control others? you have to be brutally honest about that question. It will give you great insight into whether you're causing others to grow, which is all about them, or you're restricting their growth out of a desire to control them, which is all about you. Answering that question will be a better determinant of your ability to lead and influence others rather than simply being an excellent driver. To learn more about the Power versus Force Leadership Continuum, please visit us at www.aliveatwork.com.